You up
Okay.
for those?
Yep, of course. Let's do it. Mhm.
How aware are you of your avoidance of shame? Are you aware
Very,
of when you're feeling shame?
yeah, very aware. That's why they say narcissists are, for me, the grandiose type, overt, um, highly competitive. I don't know about being highly intelligent, but I had to always have to do something to prevent shame from coming around. So I had to be seen as a certain guy. That, oh, that's Leon. We know what he's capable of. Or oh, he didn't screw it up. Not him, no way. So I had to have this wall built up around me to where if I did if I did make a mistake, it wasn't really a big deal because I'm going to turn around and do something much more extraordinary than what I just did. Whatever it was, creating a new program, leading 100 people, leading programs, create new programs. Um, the shame, because the shame for me mentally was always there. I didn't think that I was intelligent or smart. So I had to use my work ethic to overcome that. I'm not a good book person, and I know I'm gonna fail every test I'm gonna take. Every school I went to in the Navy, I failed. I got set back. Every school. So that shame was like, Jesus Christ, like I'm dumb. I'm stupid. So let me go. So, prime example, I went to a recruiting school in Pensacola, Florida in 1992. I got set back in week 2, and all my friends moved on and graduated. I was destroyed. And so I said, okay, I got to fix this. Moving on, a few years later, after I graduated, not a few weeks later, after I graduated from the school, I was sent to Cleveland to be a recruiter, and I became recruiter of the year. So I had to wash away that shame from failing. I went to another school. It's called Recruit Division Commander, Drill Sergeant, and I failed some tests, and I got set back 5 weeks. It always happens for me, so I had to become accustomed to knowing, hey, you're gonna fail, and I had to accept it because I'm not a good studier. I don't retain information like for long periods of time. I don't. And so when I failed, it set me back, and I was like, when I do a comeback, it's to be offensive to people. So when I failed and I came back, it was to make people see me in a different light. Like, yeah, he failed the test, but dang, he came out number one. So
I
when I
think you
failed it,
failed the test because it was written. I think if they gave you a verbal test, you would have passed it quite well.
I never thought of it that way, but yeah, I'm glad you said it because I never thought of it that way. And so when I did pass in this other program, they set me back 5 weeks, and I was angry. When I came out of that, I applied for another program and I got accepted, and it put me up on a different level for leadership. So the shame it's always there. It's there now. It's more, but I know I have more control over the shame because I'm like, if I'm ashamed of something, if I shame you, if you make me ashamed of something, I'm going to do something to make myself look and feel better. I have to, because failure and shame and blame and being pointed out it will make me implode. And I don't understand. I don't know how to handle imploding. I don't know how to handle something that I failed with and not being able to overcome that. I just it's always reminding me the little dirty little boy that peed in the bed, that was molested, that didn't have any clothes to wear to junior high school. I'm not going back to that dude ever.
Sounds like there's still some healing to do.
Yeah, I'm on a. I'll be so as you know, my therapy is indefinite. And when I saw that, Lisa, in my medical record, I didn't see it till years later. I just happened to be reading through my medical record, and I read it. And it really hurt me because people used to call my mother crazy. Before I went to the Navy, after I went to the Navy, while I was in high school, my mother used to walk up and down the street begging for money. It's just too much. And then to be stamped as ah indefinite therapy for this PX patient, that. And I was like, Jesus Christ, how come she couldn't freaking tell me this? But I guess that you all have ways of informing us of our NPD, of our indefinite therapy without saying it right out. Because she did tell me, I'm going to enroll you in intensive inpatient care, right? And I'm like,
IOP.
huh?
IOP.
Right. And I'm like, how, why, if I'm a senior leader, I'm leading, at that time we had 42,000 people that my admiral was responsible for. How did I get to this place, this high of a level, and need to be an ILP? How? How did the people push me forward? Did they feel sorry for me? I didn't know. But I was successful at work.
Yes,
But after that, going home to my ex-wife and girlfriend and kids,
because they're too close to you. So as long as people remain a safe distance, I think that your relationships with them are probably very good. But then as soon as
exactly.
people get too close, it's that scariness again.
Yeah. And I couldn't do anything about it. But go home and walk through the door and act like I was in a funky mood. You know what's crazy, Lisa? One day I went home and the house was quiet. And I told my girlfriend, said, see, when I come home, they respect me. She said, no, Leon, they're scared of you. I was like, what? It made me mad, but she was telling me the truth. I didn't want to hear that. I did not want to hear it. What she told me. And so, yeah, right. Going home, the closest, that was
So,
tough, Lisa.
so are you in therapy now?
No, I've been debating on whether I should go back for a couple of months, but the videos help me, talking to you helped me. Um, it's kind of unfair because when people compliment me, it like I get motivated from that. And I'm like, am I still happy that people see me in a certain way because I'm doing these videos? Or do I really need help and say, you know what, let me go back and deal with my anger issues? Because I do still have anger issues. And I notice that every day when it gets better, though, it goes up and down. And so, as you know, there's no pills for this. But for my mood disorder, there's sertraline. But
Right.
for natural, like regular everyday things, I remember in therapy, I always remember her face. She's like, no, Leon, let's look at. And I was like, I don't want to look at it that way. I want to be mad right now. I want to be super pissed at my uncle, at my cousins, And I could laugh about it, but I don't know if that's laughing. This is just covering up my pain.
Yeah. Just to clarify, I am a therapist, but I'm not Leon's therapist and never was his therapist. So we're just talking here. Um, I really appreciate you and all the people who watch your videos really appreciate your transparency because I think for the partner of someone with NPD or a family member with someone with NPD, it's so hard to wrap their heads around why is this person with NPD acting like this to me?
Right.
Uh, it's a very misunderstood diagnosis. And
Hmm.
I also think that in our society, people throw the word around way too much. Oh, you're a narc, you're a narcissist, he's a narcissist. Well, wait a minute, is the person really a narcissist? You
Right.
know,
Right.
because that's a very complex diagnosis.
And people
Um,
don't know, Lisa. They don't get it. They don't get it. And I'm like, okay, I'm almost 60. And they were like, this lady the other day said, narcissists don't help people. And I'm like, you don't even know what you're talking about. A lot of times, narcissists help people because they want to get more from that person than that person's giving them. So I could help you with something that I know that you need, and it'll make you feel so good that you give me 5 times back. So the people don't, and the manipulation is a lot. It has a lot to do with that. But these people that are saying these things to me, and I watch these videos. Here's 5 ways you can permanently scar the narcissist. Here are 3 ways that make them cry and break down. They don't understand the depths of it. They really don't. Because when you talk about lack of empathy, that's a big deal with a narcissist.
right. And I've seen people write questions to you that are pretty pointed, they were written in a respectful way. I don't think the people were trying to be disrespectful to you, but they're
Yeah.
genuinely wondering, are you making these videos to help people, or are you getting supply and feeling like good because you're getting all this attention? And I don't mean to be disrespectful to you at all, because
Hmm.
we've talked, and I really enjoy talking to you. I think both can be true at the same time. A narcissist can help people and
Hmm.
truly be helping them,
Right.
which you are, but also get supply that lifts them up and makes them feel better.
That happens. It happens a lot, Lisa. And the thing is, I don't go into these videos to be lifted up because I can't control how you feel about me helping you. You know what I'm saying? So when I say, for instance, I help you, you might go, and you do, you help me out, you lift me, you uplift me, you do. But there are women like you that understand I need help too. Regardless of what I've done in the past, if I lied, I cheated, I was promiscuous, all this stuff, you'll say something to me just to keep me going for another day or two. And there's nothing wrong with that. But the women like, so I will tell you this: I don't get supply as in dating supply. I don't want that. I could have that simply because I'm saying the things that her husband wouldn't say, or I'm saying the things that her boyfriend wouldn't say, or I'm transparent, or I'm vulnerable because her dad wasn't vulnerable, or her uncle wasn't vulnerable. So women are in a very precarious predicament right now because they see me as first the bad guy, the cheater, the liar. Then they see me as this vulnerable, transparent military man, right? And they go, well, I like Leon, but he reminds me of my husband. One lady told me I scared the hell out of her.
Yeah, I've seen that a
But
lot in your
yeah,
comments.
yeah. And then she'll go, they'll listen or they'll come back for more. I could be a damn fool to go out here and be promiscuous and buy prostitutes. I could do that. But I know what comes with that. The thing about it, and they don't talk about this, is that when I was doing what I was doing, I was living the way that I was living, I didn't have any fears, Lisa. I didn't. I couldn't care less about getting caught cheating. Couldn't care less. Like, oh wow, I told you don't mess with me. I'm no good. I'm no good. I would tell women, hey, I'm no good for you. I'm gonna tell you right now. And they go, oh Leon, and then what happened? Now they're crying. I'm like, well, but I was being manipulative for sure. Because now I can keep her because I told her the truth months ago. Well, you did tell me the truth. So anyway, back to that. But it could be uplifting, it could be supply, but it's not. You may, and I tell people, I don't need you to send me some shoes or a sweatsuit or nothing. I want to help people because for so long, for 35 years or so, I didn't. I didn't help anybody with relationships. And God was giving me, the military was giving me all these good things, but I wasn't sharing with anybody. So finally, when I say, okay, you know what? Let me see how Leon can really be. Let me see if I can be a genuine, understanding person and not lead supply, whether it's attention, whether it's cash apps, whether it's going to dinner, whether it's whatever you want to do for me. Let me see if I can do something without needing anything in return. No high fives, no hugs. And so I learned that, wow, I started helping people outside of the military with my personality disorder, with relationships. I've never done this before. My ex-girl, the reason why I'm doing this now, Lisa, and it's a blessing, is my ex-girlfriend told me to do it 3 years ago.
How does it feel? Because this is something a little bit different for you, like you just said.
It's very different, but now it feels good because I'm letting things out. Here's the big black cat out the bag. Here he comes, y'all. And so it's like for years I left the cat in the bag. It was just tearing me up on the inside, but I was afraid. I could not handle the onslaught of insults, the truth. You ain't this, you're demonic, you're still the same. I could not handle that. And I got a wake up call because I was still doing the same thing when I first started doing the videos with my ex girlfriend. And she called me one day. She's like, I can't do this thing because you haven't changed. I was like, Jesus. And I was like, it's your fault. You wanted me to do these videos. So I blamed her to feel good about it real quick. And I said, let me try. Let me try. Because I was afraid to try anything new as opposed to who I was for my whole military career, 32 years. why would I shift up? What am I going to get out of it? But you know what? It was time. God said, look, and she told me, she said, God told me to tell you to start making videos. That's what she told me. Had she not said that, I would have never done that, ever.
Well, you've definitely helped many people. I see, you know, many comments in your videos about how people are saying they appreciate your transparency and your honesty about it, and explaining it to them, because it is so difficult to understand. I think people would like to see you happy and healed because people like you.
They do.
And
They tell me that a lot, you know, and they tell me that a lot. And so what happened is everything my whole life, Lisa, everything was funny. I laughed at my pain. I laughed when women cried. And so I started not doing that, making my videos. And one lady said, do you ever smile? Like, I was afraid to, I had begun to feel afraid to smile. Because now that I'm being authentic and truthful, if I laugh or smile, they don't think it's a joke. And so I said, okay, I'll smile more. Then one lady said, why are you smiling? You think this SHIT is funny, Leon? I'm like, yeah, right. So I'm like, what? Okay, then one lady said, well, just smile, just be. And so I started doing videos of me eating, and it made me feel good. And I'm like, I feel good about doing these videos because it's always my personality disorder, always, always, always. And so, yeah, people say, Leon, smile some. Okay, I'll smile. But when I do these videos, I told one lady, I said, it's not funny. There's nothing to laugh about. And then when I laugh, they think I'm laughing at their pain. One lady texted me, you getting paid to laugh at people's pain. I was like, what? So I said, you know what, let me make some adjustments. I'm not, but I wasn't laughing and I wasn't getting paid for people's pain. It just didn't make sense. So you're right. People like me, and I still want to help people. So I'm gonna have those ones and twos that come in and say what they say, and I'm fine with it.
so I'm going to encourage you to go back to therapy,
I can do
because
that.
you did a great, great, great start with it. But, you know, heal
Yeah.
and be happy with somebody, you know?
Yeah, yeah, you're right. And I'm gonna do that too.
So another question from the chat. Is it possible for you to have a healthy relationship with someone?
Yeah. So what I learned is that probably 90% of the time I was the guy that was wrong. And I would not admit to being wrong. I didn't want to admit. It hurts now to say it hurts now to say I was wrong. I didn't mean to do that. I'm sorry. But it doesn't hurt as bad as it used to be when I tried to apologize, or was like, I'm not apologizing. You shouldn't have done it. I wouldn't have reacted that way, you know? And so my ex-girlfriend told me a few years ago, she said, Leon, you never apologized to me. And I listened to her, I was like, well, how do you let me get away with that? But she said she was scared of me. I wasn't violent. I was verbally abusive, and I was aggressive and over the top and mean. I was real mean at times. And then, you know what, Lisa, I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna do a video on this, but you know about this too. And my friend told me to cover the name up. But anyway, this is my mood disorders pills, right? Sertraline. And that's probably the only, there's no medicine for NPD, you know that, but for mood disorders, people don't even talk about that. So I'm gonna do a video about mood disorders. They're not talking about it. As you know, that's part of NPD. And so I didn't even know that I had a mood disorder when the psychiatrist said, I was a psychologist, whatever, I can't remember, but okay, Mr. Walker, you go pick up your medicine at the front desk. And I was like, medicine? Well, we just talked. What do I need medicine for? So I didn't know, when I talk about that 60-40 awareness, not awareness, I didn't know that I had a mood disorder. I had no idea. So based on my mood disorder, I guess maybe 70-30, knowing, not knowing, I didn't feel like I was doing or saying anything wrong. If I'm in a bad mood, go ahead.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
If I'm in a bad mood, I'm in a bad mood. I don't think about how I'm affecting you. So I never processed that. And then I get diagnosed with mood disorder. I'm like, what the hell is that? This is something else to add? Am I crazy? Like, how can I be crazy? I'm making $120,000 in the Navy. I'm leading hundreds of people. I'm creating these new programs. I'm getting awarded. I'm getting rewarded. How can I have a mood disorder? Then I read it. I'm like, Jesus, what? What? Well, go ahead. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I forgot what I was going to say.
I'm
Um,
sorry.
that's all right. I thought you were done. I didn't mean to interrupt you. Oh, I know what I was going to say. You've gotten much better at apologizing. You've apologized to me a couple times.
I have, yeah, you know, and it's like, I'll tell you, Lisa, therapy has helped me out because apologize to you, and I'm bigger and better than you, and you caused me to call you out of your name. It's your fault. I didn't even apologize to my ex-wife when I did some horrendous things to her. And nobody ever brought it to my attention but my ex-girlfriend. She said, "You never apologize." And I was like, and this was years after we broke up.
She made you think.
Ooh, we. And then it started in therapy. She's saying we're gonna, with that forgiveness. I hated that word, Lisa. I hate it all. She said, next week we're gonna talk about forgiveness. I was like, that was like she might as well just pull my teeth out with no Novocaine. I hated that. Ooh, we. And I don't like using the word hate, but forgiveness, no. So, but I'm getting better at it. It feels better to apologize. I blocked a lot of my emotions out. I suppressed a lot of things because I didn't think that people, I thought that people would use and abuse me if I apologized. I would rather forget about it, suppress it, act like it didn't happen, and let's go eat some chicken or ribs.
Yeah, it makes people feel better when you apologize. Like, oh, okay, you know?
Yeah. But I never processed it for you or her, or not you per se, I'm just saying, for that person.
Yeah,
I never processed it to make them feel better. I kept it away from them to make myself feel better.
right. Two more questions. What do you wish could be different, if anything, from your past, your present?
From my past, I wish that my parents had stayed together, kept us together as a family. Because when my divorce happened, my parents' divorce happened, family didn't mean anything to me. Because I was sent to live with a lady that I didn't know. My mother and brother moved to the hotel, and I didn't see them for months. My sister was sent to live with somebody else, and that hurt me, Lisa. That destroyed me because I'm like, I gotta be 11-year-old and hey, where's your sister? I don't know. Where's your mother? Where's your brother? Oh, well, I think they're down the street in the hotel. You think I want to tell somebody that?
No.
And then 31 years later, I get divorced. Ask my son, where's your dad? He's around the corner. Repeated that. And so I wish my parents would have stayed together. I wish my family wasn't so angry. I have a mean family. They're dead now, most of them. They were mean people. Art workers, great work ethic. Do you know that me, my mother and father, brothers and sisters never prayed before we ate meals? Ever. 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 Never. My mother started me to reading the Bible when I was a kid. I went to church to flirt with the little girls. I didn't learn anything in church. And so guess what happens? When I get old and go to Navy, we have a chaplain on the ship. We have a church on the ship. I'm like, I ain't going to no doggone church. Don't even invite me, dude, ever again. Hey, man, let's get together. Let's pray. Man, I'm not trying to pray with you, dude. I'm trying to go to the whorehouse. So people don't understand, Lisa, when you have NPD, how deep it runs. I didn't even like praying because as a family, we didn't pray. I got no value out of praying. I do now. But when people say, I'm going to pray for you, I'm like, I would flip them off. And if they kept going, I would get angrier and angrier and call them names. I had no relationship with God. So I wish that would have changed too. I wish I'd have had a better relationship with God as a kid. That's why I made it out, because I was a strong, independent little boy. And women don't realize that when they're dealing with a man or woman with NPD, they're very independent. But they also can be dependent on you as supply, because women are giving and loving and caring, and you like to cook, and Leon, come over, let me give you a massage, and let me buy you cigars, and I got porn on for you. So I was getting all of that. All right, then when I'm done with her, back to a low independent Leon, dysfunctional Leon. Let's find something else to get into. So my life was always exciting, and I was running myself into the ground. And then I had a heart attack in 2013. Finally, something was going to happen. I'm misusing women. I'm using women. I'm verbally abusive. I'm mentally abusive. You really think I'm gonna get along ahead in life and nothing's going to happen to me? No. But those are things I wish I could change. Yeah.
Okay. What happens when a person is in a, romantic relationship with a narcissist? That person discards the narcissist, but then when the narcissist hoovers them, the person takes them back or wants
The
them back.
the worst thing, and Lisa, I tell women all the time. They go, well, what if the sex is so good? So we have this thing called an armor's narcissist. They specifically not deal with, but they're all about sex. And I have that trait too. But anyway, when they discard you and they hoover and you take them back, they will forever disrespect you. Because you're telling them, well, I know you discarded me. I tried to find somebody else, but I couldn't, Leon. You know how many women told me that? I just couldn't date anybody. It's been 6 months and I didn't want anybody to touch me. I'm like, all right, I'll come over. I still had access. I did a video on that. When you give me access, when you block me and unblock me and I call you answer on the first ring, you're in trouble. Because I know you've been waiting on me. When I discard you and I hoover, and come back, you telling me, yeah, couldn't get anybody else. I didn't want to try. Leon, I'm so in love with you. But you know I'm not in love with you. I don't want to talk about this. Just come over and let's cuddle. I know what that means. I'm going to keep doing the same thing I did to you before I discarded you. Because I discarded you, I watched you for months, and I came back, and you were the same person. And guess what? I'm the same person too. So I'm still going to manipulate you. I'm still going to neglect you. And I'm still going to starve you of love and affection. I just need an easy relationship. Not now, but that's how I was thinking.
And discard them again.
Guaranteed. But hey, check this out. Now that you brought me back, because I didn't come back, you asked me to come back. In my mind, you want me to come back. You need me to come back. Now we're going to add another woman to this relationship. Or we're going to do something freakier. So I'm going to take it to another level. So, and when I discard you again, it's almost guaranteed that I come back. I don't like being told no. Narcissists do not like being told no. When you become strong and upright and not submissive anymore, and you're not a robot anymore, I don't like that. Because I created you for my services. And then I discard you. Take a break. Listen to this. When I discard you, it's because I'm going to cheat. I'm not discarding you because it's like, I'm just going to discard you. No, I want to discard you. When I go mess with her, I'm not cheating because in my mind, we're broken up. And I'm going to discard her and come back to you. Then it's going to be a third or fourth too.
Repetition compulsion goes around and around and around and around.
Yeah.
Until somebody stops it.
Exactly. And then you say you stop it, you'll be the one that's out of the cycle. I'm still in the cycle because it's what makes me feel good. So I'm not going to stop it. There's no way. I told a lady the other day, I said, he will always come back around. She said, no, I don't think so. Then she called me with Leon, he just called me. I said, yeah. You are still his supply, and he's still watching, and he's watching on social media, getting better, your hair's longer, you got nice glasses. Who the hell's taking care of you? Let me go see if I can get her back from him. And guess what? They let me back. Him, me, him, whoever, every single time. Every single time. But some women don't. And I applaud you all.
You just said something that I haven't heard you say in any of your videos. You said, if you take me back and I go back to you, we're going to add something freakier. And is that to kind of like, again, devalue the woman because you know her values are not to do that. But if you can manipulate her into doing something that she views to be offensive, you have the ultimate control.
Right. But
Is it
that's to,
something like that?
it was right, that too, but it's also to make her a permanent fixture.
Explain that.
So if I come back and we take things to another level, and you know I'm going to discard you, you know I ain't no good, you know I'm a cheater, you know I'm with somebody else, and you take me back, I have to do something so that you won't never forget me. So mentioning a permanent fixture, I can leave again and knowing that you might try to date somebody, but he's not going to be funny. He's not going to massage you. He's not going to make your kids laugh. Your mother's not going to like him. I always thought that. So that's why I had the courage and the nerve to come back. Like, you can't get rid of me. You really don't want to get rid of me. And I know that's very cocky and very evil to say. And I don't like being that guy anymore. But when I come back, I didn't expect any pushback. None. And guess what happened? There was no pushback. I told somebody the other day or a while ago, I've never been rejected, ever.
Once.
Yeah, once. Right. Yeah. But before that, right? I don't know what it's like to be abused by a woman. I have no idea what that feels like. But I got friends that are being abused now by women that are just like me. The women are just like me. So I know. I said, man, I can handle her. He's like, no, man, I know. But I don't want to handle somebody else's girlfriend. I don't want to do that. But she's doing to him what I did to other women. And it's brutal, Lisa. It's brutal. So I know what my friend is going through. A couple of my friends. So, but I've never had a bad woman like that because I go into a relationship being the bad guy, and they're like, oh, well, let me slow this down because narcissistic women don't want to be hurt. They need all the attention. They will triangulate the hell out of you too. They will look in your eye. They're very conniving, sneaky, just like I was, the same way. So I'll never date one of them. I know what they are, who they are, kind of, sort of. I know the vibe. I know, they flirt, very flirtatious, and they'll deny it. It's subtle, but they like it. So yeah, but yeah, the rejection, it was tough for me.
I really appreciate you joining us today. I think that, you've shed some insight onto a lot of things here in this conversation, not just one topic of narcissism, but many different facets of it. And I really appreciate that, and would love to have you join us again.
Yeah, Lisa, I like talking to you because you control the conversation, no pun intended, and you allow it to flow, and I like that. I get it out. I get to answer your questions. Sometimes I may talk too long, but you ask some very serious questions, and there's a lot of information to that question. So I appreciate that. But yeah, you can have me back anytime you want.
All right,
Yeah.
Lee. All right. Talk to you soon.
Okay.
Take
All
care.
right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Take care.